Talking about that, some of these flicks. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, two great people in my life. The last thing both of them said was United Front. It's interesting that when Dr. King came to our house, and me and looked out the window and saw these police and cops and everything up and down the street. I thought they was coming to bust us. They knocked on the door. I opened the door, and there's Martin Luther King standing on the step. So my mouth, boom. Now that's a classic photo. Somebody took that photo of me standing with my mouth up like that. And that photo has been in City Hall since 1968, but now suddenly this year disappeared. Maybe the photo was in there hissing or something like that. When the politicians passed, the photo would go, shh, I don't know. But why would somebody remove the photo? Well, anyway. But the music, like, I quoted Du Bois in here, what he said about the music. The first thing in here is an essay. This is taken from, he said, this is what Du Bois said. He said, a great song arose, the loveliest thing born this side of the seas. It was a new song. It did not come from Africa, though the dark throb and beat of that ancient of days was in it and through it. It did not come from white America, never from so pale and hard and thin a thing, however deep these vulgar and surrounding tones had driven. Not the Indies, nor the hot South, the cold East, nor heavy West made this music. It was a new song. And its deep and plaintive beauty, its great cadences and wild appeal wailed, throbbed, and thundered on the world's ear with a message seldom voiced by a man. It swelled and blossomed like incense, improvised and born anew out of an age long past, and weaving into its texture the old and new melodies in word and in thought. That is the question of how are people brought from Africa to do work for people. That even in that pain could create the most beautiful form to come out of this country. You think about that. That even in slavery itself could create a music so beautiful that will outlast. And not only that, has actually influence. And what I said in this digging, the Afro-American soul of American classical music. The music we make is American classical music. They talk about classical music, you say, who classical music? You got 27 orchestras in the United States, 27 orchestras that play European music. They play music by dudes that have been dead 200 years. Now somebody said, here you go again. Yeah, you got 27 orchestras that play European music. You got one orchestra, Lincoln Center. And people put down Wynton Marsalis all the time. I don't put them down. That's the only orchestra that's played, the music of Thelonious Monk, the music of John Coltrane. That's the only one. You mean tell me we got 27 cities? Plus, we can't just talk about white folks, although, we can do that. But we can't just do that because we are people with $700 billion a year. The Afro-American people have $700 billion a year. They're the 16th largest gross national product in the world. 15 is or was General Motors. Might not be there. We might be bigger than General Motors now. But $700 billion a year and a population of 50 million. Nobody should be able to tell you nothing. If you want to have an orchestra in all 27 cities where you live, we only live in 27 cities. We were smart enough to get out of the country. We wasn't staying in the country with the Klan and them running around loose. You understand? So we moved to the city. That's why we live in the city. We city people. We urban people. So in all them 27 cities, and you know them cities, the cities you got relatives in. In all them cities, you should have at least a theater, at least an orchestra. You know, the Chicago, the Afro-American Orchestra of Chicago, the Afro-American Orchestra of New Jersey, whatever you want to call it. But it is on you. You can't be rich beggars all your life. We got the money, we have the money. And if you have the will, see, because, I'm sorry I'm giving you this lecture, but anyway, I'm going to give it. Because Obama would not be the president, but when you had decided it, you decided it. You decided it. Them other people helped. But who decided Obama was going to be president? We did. We said he's going to be the president. Without a doubt. 96% of us voted for Obama. Now get to that. 96% of us voted for Obama. There was 60% Asians and 60% Latinos, and there was some progressive white people. But the heavy hitter in there was us. And what does it mean? When you decide collectively to do something, you can do whatever you want to do if you would just decide. You know, like the Congress of the United States, they get in there, they be fighting, you know, they be talking this and that, this and that. When they come out of there, the guy say, hey, I don't even agree with that, but that's what we're going to do. Now, when we get to that, when we can get to that level of understanding of politics, I'll argue with you till you fall down. You're a nationalist, I'm a communist. Will they still arrest me? No. But the point is this, we can argue about what we're going to do. See, what we're going to do? We're going to do this. What is it that we agree on? Let's agree to do this. And then we go argue all day and all night about how to do this. But when we come out of there, we're going to say, I don't agree with that, but that's what we're going to do. That's what we decided to do. That's what we voted to do. That's what we, not unanimously, but majority to do. And that's what we got to do. Remember, Malcolm said the ballot or the bullet. Now, unless you're going to shoot up people, you got to find out about that ballot. This town, if you don't like what's going down, put them out. See, people, we used to complain about amnesia all the time. Remember that? Complain about amnesia, he'll get beat in the head. Just say, no, we gotta stop complaining. There's another dude, Jimmy C was over there. And my wife, Amina, and Chochezi, we also, we're not gonna complain about this sucker. We're gonna put him out. And that you have the power to do that, if you would do that. It's not beyond you. It is something that is realizable, especially you young people. That's what y'all need to be doing. You need to be finding out how to seize power. The function of a revolutionary is how to seize power, nothing else. You can march, that's good. You can protest, that's good. You can criticize, that's good. But the gig is to seize power. That's the job. You see? And if you're not doing that, or don't know how to do that, then you ain't up to your gig. How to seize power. And now, one thing else before I read something from this book. Now you know why they didn't want you to vote. Why even registering to vote got people killed. Why Carmichael and Rat Brown and I went down there with Snake to register people to vote. Why they didn't want you to vote? Why when you go to jail, they take the vote away from you? Because your vote is the strongest thing you have. Unless you got some kind of armed militia and you're going to run down there and seize power, you need to be organizing to take power from these fools. Am I insulting anybody? Because there's fools around, you see. We used to have what we call home rule. It was flawed. Nobody criticized Kim Gibson as much as I did. Nobody criticized Sharp James as much as I was on their case, Jim. If you know it, I was with them every day. But they were all fools. They were all flawed home rule. But now somebody found out you wasn't down with the last one, so they sent somebody to get you. They sent somebody to take you out.